Now, amid the confusion over the Uhuru-Ruto deal, things are not any clearer for Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, who has continued to send mixed signals about his political fate. The Vice President's Wiper Party says it is finalizing talks with Deputy Prime Minister Musalia Mudavadi, even as a section of his allies push for an election deal with ODM'S Raila Odinga. KTN's Erno Cheng now reports on why Kalonzo is on the horns of a dilemma.
He has been referred to in different ways politically: a watermelon, a fence-sitter, and even a political opportunist. But which way will the Kalonzo Musyoka Wiper Democratic Party move this time around? With just a week to the deadline for parties to present to the Registrar of Political Parties pre-election paths, Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka continues to keep suitors guessing. ODM, UDF and TNA have all made advances to the seemingly unsettled Wiper Democratic Party leader. Even though the Vice President's party has held talks with almost all major political parties, the most vocal of Wiper's party's lieutenants have recently appeared to prefer a pact with Raila Odinga's ODM. But even as the Vice President continues to hold talks with other leaders on the possibility of forming pre-election coalition, Kalonzo has insisted that his name will be on the ballot as a presidential candidate.
Lakini ukiangalia mbele zako na mbele za Mwenyezi Mungu, Kalonzo anafaa na kuambia jameni, nipigie kura bila kujali chama chako. Tunaelewana hapo? Kwa sababu nitakuwa rais wa vyama vyote.
Wednesday, 22nd November, Wiper Party's MPs met with UDF Musalia Mudavadi in Nairobi, and reports indicated willingness of the two sides to work together. In fact, there were reports that a deal had been reached in the meeting and was just awaiting the official unveiling. The alleged deal was later denied by Kalonzo's allies. Sunday, 25th November, and a group of MPs from the ODM party are hosted in Machakos by Kalonzo's right-hand man, Chief Whip Johnston Muthama.
Tunaongea kutokana na ujuzi na uwezo ambao una viongozi wale ambao tunataka kuweka pamoja waende mbele.
The following day, Prime Minister Raila Odinga was in Homa Bay, and Wiper Democratic Party politicians were with him, and the story was the same. Kalonzo will work with Raila.
I'm so grateful my brothers from Ukambani are here. There were many people from all over Ukambani. Every district in Ukambani was represented yesterday.
Wiper Democratic Party members of parliament admit talks with various political parties are going on, but say no deal has been reached yet.
What we are saying, we are open to discuss with any party, anybody, and we are willing and ready. Anytime anybody is ready, we are ready to go ahead. So we have not closed anybody out.
Kalonzo has not been publicly seen in any of the deal-making meetings. Observers say the VP has adopted a wait-and-see approach in the hope of getting a better deal.
It's a question of combined negotiations efforts taking place at the moment. And so what Honorable Mutula and Honorable Mudhama they are doing, just in order, only that they seem to be handling one part of the negotiations.
Kalonzo has reportedly rejected the majority leader position offered to him in the Uhuru-Ruto alliance and opted to talk to Raila with a view to getting the running mate slot. The VP is said to have held more meetings with Ruto and even with Raila than have been reported. And the Wiper dilemma seems to intensify as the December 4th deadline approaches. Aaron KTN Prime.
So for the last couple of months, we've had on and off signals from William Ruto, whether he is with with Uhuru Kenyatta or with Raila Odinga. And then also, we've just seen from that report, Kalonzo Musyoka is a Wiper. This side, that side. And to basically discuss these issues, I'm joined now by the managing editor of the Sunday Standard, Mwenda Njoka. And thank you very much for coming, Mwenda. The on and off by Ruto, the Wiper by Kalonzo Musyoka. First of all, why is Ruto sending this kind of signals?
I think for Ruto, let's start from this premise. Ruto and Uhuru are joined together by fate. It's fate that brought them together. And I think between the two of them, Ruto has decided that he's going to be with Uhuru in the ballot. But
so
what kind of a deal will he strike? One, It's the biggest problem for Ruto is when you look at the ground in Rift Valley. In 2007, he fought very hard against Kebake and against Uhuru
by extension,
and he got a significant amount of vote for Raila. So there is that ground that he has to try and shift now in a different direction. Say that, okay, I made a mistake at that time. Now I'm leading you guys to this other direction.
Are you saying that Ruto's supporters are not necessarily agreeing with him that now that let's support Uhuru?
They are not agreeing with him, and the reason why some of the core supporters, also in politics, there are people who are dependent on his being on the ballot box. If he's not on the ballot box, there are people who feel that their fates will be affected. So these are the people, these are the forces that he has to try and move with. Otherwise, you leave them and they will end up, if he doesn't move with them, it means that you'll not have as much influence in terms of the votes that he's bringing to Uhuru as you'd have liked to. And you leave them to be cannibalized by the other side.
By the other side. Bottom line, is Uhuru Kenyatta the best bet for William Ruto and his supporters?
I think so, because fate has brought them together. It's not that it's not like they chose to be together. It's that just that they find themselves facing the same fate. So I think they have no choice but to hang together. Otherwise, they may end up hanging separately.
Let's move to Kalonzo Musyoka, the wiper. One day he's with UDF, talking with Musalia Mudavadi, trying to strike a deal. The other day we hear there are talks between him and maybe his supporters, his main people going to Raila Odinga. Then again, there's him becoming speaker. And Uhuru, where would the wiper land?
For Kalonzo, I think the biggest challenge is he's trying to gain relevance. He has been, remember in 2007, he was a candidate. He got about 890,000 votes, which wasn't very credible for, okay, he came number 3 in that situation, but it wasn't as much as would have expected.
Yeah.
He is trying to gain credence, he's trying to gain ground and show that he's actually a serious candidate. But for some reason, nobody seems to be taking him as seriously as he ought or he thinks he should be taken.
Where should he be? Well, where is his best?
For Kalonzo, he has a challenge that he doesn't have total control of his home ground. Because right now, you've seen Gilo has been also operating, whatever calculation Kalonzo makes, he has to think in terms of which other side is Gilo going to be.
Gilo is definitely going to be on the opposite side.
On the opposite side.
Let's talk about, finally, the other man, Raila Odinga. Do you think he's actually watching this and just enjoying the circus?
No, I don't think he's enjoying. He's not in a very good place either, because he's also waiting to see the moment, for instance, if Ruto, or rather in the likely event that Ruto and Uhuru are running mate, president and running mate, presidential candidate and running mate, then he has to think in terms, how does he try to look for votes in Rift Valley, and possibly think of looking for a running mate from the same area. Again, if that doesn't happen, but again, if he does that, he has to think now, how do I accommodate other parts of the country? So even him is still waiting to see, although he's, for now he appears to be in a good place, but he must be waiting, trying to see and hoping things work in a way that is also favorable to him.
Mwenda Njoka, Managing Editor, Sunday Standard, thank you very much for coming and thank you for breaking it down for us.